What's up, everybody? I want to talk about a subject that I was thinking about. I was talking with a client today, and I think this is a very important subject. I want to talk about the proof of love, the proof of love, because I think a lot of people are in relationships and in marriages where they have a lot of questions that aren't getting answered. And sometimes I realize that people are in situations where they should not be wondering certain things. They should not have answers to certain things. And I want to keep this as simple as possible. Love must be evident. There must be proof of it. There must be proof of love. There must be proof of love. Love is not just a feeling, and love cannot just be felt, but it has to be shown and it has to be proven. Love is more than a feeling, it's a choice baked in with consistent action. So words can initiate love, but actions validate the words. In other words, if I say something, that's you being informed. But if I show it by doing something, that proves that what I said is true. And I think a lot of people in relationships where the actions don't match the words, which means the love cannot be proven, which means they have a relationship where there's no evidence of true love, right? Yet more questions continue to evolve because without action, you're left without answers. And so in marriage, love without evidence is like a check without the actual funds in the bank. The check is great, but you can't cash it because there's no money in the bank. If there's no actions in the bank, the words are just a voided check. And when we talk about principles of relationships, the proof of love, this is a principle. The proof of love is in what you stop doing, what you start doing, and what you sustain. So what I mean by that is proof that I love you is in the evidence of what I stopped doing. So if I love my wife, then I will stop lying. If I love my wife, I'll stop cheating. Rather, I wouldn't even start cheating or I wouldn't even start lying, to be honest. But even if you have done these things, if you want to prove that you love your spouse, what you stop doing is going to be the evidence of that. So if I stop lying, if I stop flirting, if I stop cheating, if I stop disrespecting, if I stop miscommunicating, meaning like if I stop deliberately not communicating or withholding information, if I stop withholding affection, or if I stop withholding um, intimacy or sex, like these all these things that I stop doing that are detrimental to my relationship is proof that I love. And I know we live in a world where everybody has these opinions and perspectives and ideas, and everybody has something to say, and everybody has a word about something. But I think we're missing in our generation the simplicity in things, right? We're making things too complicated. What you do proves what you say, period. If you say you love somebody, prove it. But if you say you love somebody and you don't have the actions behind it, then you don't love them. And I think we try to justify so much that we blur lines and we start to believe certain things that just aren't true simply because We want to believe what we're hearing, but the truth is, if I don't have the evidence to back it up, then I don't love you. There has to be evidence, right? There has to be evidence of love when you're in a relationship, especially in marriage. So what I stopped doing is the proof that I love you, because true love stops behaviors that causes pain to the one I love. If something is hurting the one I love, I'm going to stop doing that because the behavior is causing or inflicting pain. Now, for all my extremists, I'm not saying that if eating eggs hurts your spouse, you should stop eating eggs. Like let's be reasonable. But the point is, the more I love someone, the more I should hate what hurts them. The more I love someone, the more I should hate what hurts them. And so, again, what I stop doing is proof of love, but also what I start doing is proof of love. So if I begin practicing empathy and communication and intimacy and patience and forgiveness, all these individual tools that lead to successful marriage, then I'm showing you that I love you by me starting to do those things. But if I withhold empathy and compassion and sympathy and communication, it just shows that I don't love you. Because, and for some people, you might be thinking, well, they did this and they did that, so I'm not going to keep doing this. But what I'm saying, that right there is actually a sign of selfishness, because you're withholding something that's necessary for the relationship to succeed simply because of a pain point. Pain points doesn't mean you withhold anything. It means you must communicate even more and find new ways and more creative ways to get your point across. Now, if you're just in a relationship with somebody who just is showing you over and over and over again, they don't love you, they don't care, they're selfish, then that's a whole nother conversation. But withholding certain things isn't that's just a passive aggressive way to get your way or to get what you need. And sometimes that's done in selfishness, not in the good heart or the um good nature of a um healthy relationship or marriage. But point is, if I start to initiate check-ins after we had a long conversation of you feeling insecure about me not checking in, or if I start implementing compliments because you say I don't tell you certain things enough, if you say, you know what, we're gonna start doing this more, being that you have a challenge with this. If you say we don't spend enough quality time, the fact that I start spending quality time and making the time, all of these things are proof of love. All of these things are proof of love. So we live in a generation where so many people are in relationships where there is no true evidence of love. Also, what you sustain proves your love, because temporary changes isn't proof of love, because love is seen in consistency. So mature love will continue even when my feelings fluctuate. Even though I don't always feel it, I'm still going to do it because I committed to it, because I said it. And that's the sign of maturity. But the truth is, the average person isn't mature, even though they're in a relationship. And that's where the real challenge is. Well, on average, people are just not mature. They're just not mature and they need to grow up more. But love is proven in the long term, over time, over consistency. It can never be proven in what we call the honeymoon phase, or like it can't really be tested without um time, right? That's why it's always important before you fall head over heels in love and all that honeymoon stuff. You need to learn how to vet. You need to learn how to watch, ask the right questions, be attentive, because all of these things will give you all the answers you need if you know what you're looking for. Most people don't, because they don't have a coach. But for a lot of people who is already married, you know, there needs to be evidence of love, because love without evidence is a lie. Love without evidence is a lie. There's nowhere else to put it. Love without evidence is a lie. You can say I love you all day, but if your actions contradict your words, you are canceling your claim that says I love you. So for example, if someone claims to love their spouse, but they regularly disrespect them, ignore their needs, disappear emotionally, the question is gonna be, where's the proof of the words I love you? Where's the evidence? Because true love and real love leaves a trail of evidence. It's like footprints in the sand. If there has been someone there, there's going to be footprints. If there's no trail, then there's no evidence. If there's no evidence, there's no love. So I just wanted to share those few things. Hopefully, this helps somebody. Every relationship and every marriage, there has to be proof and evidence of love. All right. If you agree with this, if you identify with any of this, type in the comments, leave a 100 sign, leave a thumbs up, leave a praying hands, comment below. Tell me your thoughts about this. Give me your perspectives. Love y'all. Catch y'all next time.